Greetings and salutations to you people of the interwebs, and welcome to this week's edition of Transformer of the Week. Well, I'm going to be looking at this guy. This is Fansproject Servo Core. This is the remold / repaint of the Fansproject steel core kind of guy, but in more Grimlock colours. This is kind of a take on Cybertonian War Within Grimlock, the dinobot leader, before he was a dinobot, obviously, because this is not a dinosaur. It's actually a cool Cybertonian future sci-fi tumbling truck type vehicle with 6 wheels, 6 tiny wheels that roll, really quite cool. Got a lot of paint on there, silver red, and then the black plastic, so you know they really kind of stand out. And he's got this true dinobot style colour scheme that's, you know, synonymous with them now. The metallics, the reds, and well, he's using yellow plastic here rather than shiny gold. But yeah, you get the idea. He's got those 3 primary colours of a dinobot with some nice bits of black detail in there, and it's cool. It's cool. I like it. It's a nice, just trucky truck Cybertonian thing with some like just cool little tech details here and there. I like the stacks, the exhausts, a lot like the what he has in War Within. Is what is kind of placed where is in the kind of War Within model where his dinosaur arms, his little T-Rex arms had become. So I quite like that mirroring. So yeah, got all the stuff on the side if that's what you care about. But yeah, generally just all this detail, the nice feel of those wheels. Oh, really good. And he's got these claws up the back here that you can kind of move out should you wish to grab hold of any other vehicles as you're passing by or something. I don't know how you could angle them to maybe stab at stuff or just do some forklifting. Yeah, so you could maybe have a more innocent farming purposes. Talking of farming purposes, it does come with accessory. So he has 2 of these chainsaws. One of them is in grey plastic with some paint on, and then there's this translucent one, which is my favourite. I'm not 100% sure where the other chainsaw's gone at this moment in time, but I'm sure we'll locate it. But not for this video. So it doesn't really have anywhere official that this can go, but the sides of that chainsaw do fit kind of on this joint, so you could have drive-by energon chainsaw slashing. So that'd be you know, or could have more of an instant farming equipment type thing if he just wants to go you know, travelling through the forest lumberjacking on Cybertron. The forests of Cybertron, the famous forests of Cybertron. But yeah, I just like just this simple future truck type stuff. It does have a little man inside him as well, as we all do. So this opens up, and in this guy, and I think in the Fansproject kind of lore, this is just the guy. This is Servo, and that's his transector type stuff. So he's done out nice red plastic. It's kind of got a Grimlock kind of faceplate there. You probably won't be able to pick that out. But yeah, he's just got some ball joints here, some swivels at his elbow, nice ball jointed head, ball joints at the hip, bend at the knee, and that's all you got to see. It's a nice mixture of translucent smoky plastic and this red plastic, just to make a little man. It's quite cool. Nothing really to write home about, but you know, cool nonetheless. Now this guy is a transformer, so he does transform. So let's get to it, shall we? Yeah, so Fansproject seems to be a company that once was in the heyday, that they were the innovators really of the third party scene. They were the first in many ways to do full first party figures. They just fold out the hands like so. And of late it seems to have gone quiet. You know, they started doing the dinobots. They took years to finish the Lost Exo Realm dinobots. So position these arms, fold these flaps in there, and then they kind of, when they did that Monstructor set that the remake reissuing in the they did it in the Dino, fold out these legs, Force, Dino Force colours, and then they're doing it in the Monstructor colours as a gift set. Fold that in, fold, that's already folded in, move these round, move this clutch piece. So yeah, they kind of, you know, they've had the ups and downs, they've had the releases, swivel these feet round, and we thought they were dead in the water, and then they kind of started releasing stuff like this. It's convention exclusive, and I kind of get the feeling that they might just be a company now that kind of just does convention exclusives, because they're not, you know, they're not it's a third party company, so it's not, I think that, and they are more in it for just to make stuff rather than trying to make a living out of it, if you know what I mean. Whereas other third party companies seem to be really kind of doing lots and lots of release schedules to, you know, keep at it and keep the name in focus, whereas I think Fansproject seems to be happy on trading on the name, and let's just make convention exclusives. I've got a feeling that they're just mostly going to be convention exclusives that they release, so you know, in the future. But that's pretty much him transformed. It's very simple, as you can see. As we got distracted just talking about third party company politics. Yeah, and that's just an awesome Grimlock figure. He's not 100% complete because we've not got put his tiny man back in him. So this guy, we rotate the head around, fold that into there, fold these elbows down, fold him in half, kind of that way. Fold these legs up. Fold this leg up. Again, right. Make sure these tabs go into the slots in the backs of his legs. And make sure everything looks even, like so. So it's kind of a Power Master deal. And the whole there, that section there, poof, and it gives it that kind of traditional clear plastic detail that a lot of Grimlocks have. So yeah, that's cool. Really like that. I really like that kind of finishing touch to the figure. So he's got some, I mean, going by that this is like a remold of a quite an old figure. He still stands up. It's got a, you know, ball jointed head, so lots of articulation there. Ball joints at the shoulder, so you know, got a good range on them. So you can, you know, get some proper movements there. There's ball joint this part of the shoulder as well, and kind of a bend at the bicep, but kind of a weird bend. It's got an elbow joint, not the deepest, but can go from straight to 90 degrees. That rotation there. The top of the shoulder acts as a bicep swivel, a bicep bend. His wrists don't bend or swivel. You can kind of just move his hand up like that, should you want to, in a most unnatural way. It does have a wrist swivel. It does have an ab crunch. It does have ball joints at the hips. It does have swivels at the hips. There's quite a nice deep knee bend there. I believe that's double jointed. So yeah, it's nice and deep. And it's got a rocker, back and forth, toe movements, toe and heel kind of stuff can do. So yeah, it's, for considering how old the mold is, that's, you know, it was probably really, really good back in the day. Right now, it's kind of the only thing you can really hold against it is the wrist swivels, because a lot of figures don't have as articulated as waist as this guy does at the moment. But yeah, figures come out really well. The red paint on his eyes is a bit hit and miss on my version, at least. I don't know if you own this. Let me know how well they've painted the eyes on this. It looks like they could have done another couple of coats of the red on that. It does have extra missile pods, which are cool. So yeah, I really like that. Yeah, I'm just really quite impressed with it. It's a lot of fun. It's convention exclusive, and it's a good convention pickup. But you know, they didn't seem to sell that many at the TF Nation. There seemed to be like stacks of them left, and I think that is because it was in quite a plain brown box. It was sold in, just a brown box with its name on. Whereas I think if you're selling a figure online, that's fine. And I always wonder why quite a lot of third-party figures have these elaborate and pretty and decorative boxes, when a lot of the business is done online, so it doesn't really matter. You're not putting them in a storefront, so it doesn't really matter what they look like. But then when you do a convention exclusive and you just put it in a plain brown box, that's kind of when you need to kind of go, let's get some kick-ass product shots on our box. Let's make a nice looking box, a nice looking presentation for someone to pick up a convention. So I think they've kind of shot themselves on the foot with the boxes, but you should never trust the Transformer by its box, as they say, because this is a cracking figure. So he comes with this doobly-doo thing, and you can fold that out and it can become some kind of thing that falls on the floor. You know, don't we all need a bit of accessory that falls on the floor? So it becomes a blaster, like so, should you be that way inclined at shooting things. So yeah, that's one thing that it does. You can also kind of, is it this way that you do it, like this? Right, so I'm not sure if that's for a different configuration. You can have it like so, but I think what the main event is for this is to have it like so. Take this, insert that there. Energon chainsaw. Look at that. That is absolutely fantastic. So then we can get this in his hand. What I've noticed is that on mine, not only the wrists not swivel, but they're not doing it now. They're not glued in the best as well, so they have a tendency to pop off like so. But it's just a tab, and you can just bang that back in. If I was that bothered about it, I could just get a bit of glue, stick it in. But yeah, we've got the chainsaw, so you can go out smashing things with a chainsaw, and that's the thing you can do. I like that. I I like Energon chainsaws, and there's not enough of them in Transformer toys. In fact, I can't really think of any other character that has an Energon chainsaw. Kind of the G1 Skullcruncher kind of almost has his crocodile tail kind of looks like a chainsaw, but they've never, any of these other iterations, they've never really chainsawed him. They're just giving him a sword or a knife. So yeah, I would really like that. Oh, see, it takes its hand with him when you try and take that off. And the other thing we've noticed that the remold have done, they've added these claws, which look pretty decent like that. But if you want to go full Wolverine with your Grimlock, you can flip them out. Snick it like that. Oh. So yeah, he's dynamic. He's got claws. He's just basically just a really cool Transformer. And looks well on any kind of Cybertron themed shelf. They'll probably go really well with the new Siege line. That, you know, because he is a more chuggy type figure. You know, he's not in no way, shape or form meant to be a masterpiece. This guy is meant to just be with you. Normal, regular Transformers or your other Fansproject guys he'll work just fine with. But yeah, with this new Siege line from Hasbro, this guy will look probably pretty cool hanging around with him. Oh, I just love how dynamic he is. Yeah, all in all, they've done a fantastic job. And I hope Fansproject start doing more new stuff again. And not just kind of just convention exclusives, but I've got a feeling they're mostly going to be doing convention exclusives from now on. They've not really announced. I think there's maybe a construction vehicle version of this mold, and they're going to be doing a new mold as a kind of roller, but in the core robots line. So a roller with a core robot for him. And whether that's going to be an individual release or a convention exclusive, we don't know. But we'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. Because I think it's, as people keep saying, in terms of Transformers and third party, the masterpiece well is drying up. There's only so many bankable characters left. And after that, people are going to have to start making new things, and you see more and more companies starting doing the new lines, the new takes on things. You know, the cross dimensions, the Bad Cube Natures, or whatever they're doing. You know, MMC's reformat has always been a thing. T-Beasts from various companies are doing like beast kind of Transformers. Fansproject were always well above the trend in this. They've always been after making new and interesting characters or new takes on things that aren't just copies of the comic books or cartoons. So I'm hoping that as when the masterpiece well runs drieth and companies start making their own figures again, the Fansproject come back with a vengeance and go, hey, no, we have laid the groundwork for this. Let's get back into it. Because this is now, the trend has gone back to what Fansproject do best, which is making innovative choices on character designs. And that's why it's this week's Transformer of the Week. Join me next week when there'll be more Transformers and more weeks. Until then, be excellent to each other, party on dudes, and because you deserve it, let's do the bump, shall we? Bestow! Fisto!